Hey guys, Dantix here, back with another Cyberpunk 2077 video. It's a short one today as I wanted to quickly cover 2 points. 1, political statements in Cyberpunk 2077, and 2, all the confirmed removed features since development started. So buckle up and let's get right into it. The question was asked if the game is changing any content due to the recent Black Lives Matter movement. The short answer from Powell Sasko, the lead quest designer, is no. In a recent interview with Spider's Web, a Polish gaming site, Sasko addresses the question in more detail. He says the important point is we already have a recorded game at this stage, actually for a long time. This is the last stage in which we do not change anything in the story we are telling, add nothing or remove anything. These events, as yourself have noticed, took place very recently. The second point is, for us, Cyberpunk and The Witcher are games that show our philosophy as studies. The game we are working on is a largely entertainment medium, but for us it's also art, a work that shows our vision. It is difficult for me to imagine the events that would have to happen for us to suddenly find we are changing or moving something in order not to touch on any specific elements. Anyway, it seems to me that you saw in the game elements that touch it, so you could see for yourself. For me, the most important is our game is a closed work and is not a political statement. It's a political thesis. So what Sasko is saying is that CD Projekt Red went into this game as a holistic study. Mike Pondsmith's vision was a dystopian future brought about if we continue down this path we're on. A future ruled by greedy corporations and normalizing selling your humanity away. The game is 8 years in the making and it's at its final stages. Right now, the priority seems to be fun for CD Projekt Red, with the overall message of Mike Pondsmith being the theme. I feel the message of equality and solidarity is already patchwork throughout the game. So Sasko goes on and says, as a studio, we are such an amalgam of different people who have different approaches to political, religious, spiritual, and internal life, also when it comes to sexual orientations or political sympathies. As a studio, we always try to cultivate openness and approach it in such a way that everyone can have a say and that each of these shades can be represented, as long as it is, of course, within law and reason, so that each player can find here something for yourself and find answers to your own questions. For me and my team, the game is a work of art and I always stick to it. And I always say it to my designers. I don't feel like I'm producing something, I feel more like painting a picture or making music, stories, movies. This is art for me, and art is the stories we tell the player, and this is the most important thing for us. So there you have it. The game was developed to be a work of art, and art transcends time. Messages in games and other mediums can be conveyed in many ways, and doesn't always need to slap you in the face to get them across. For example, a quest that forces you to do something quite racist or sexist may seem horrible to the journalist covering it, wanting to get some cheap clicks, but what it's actually doing is showing the player how horrible being racist or sexist is by highlighting the consequences to characters. A game doesn't need to force you to play as a character you hate, emotionally manipulate you, or slap a terrible revenge plot to make a statement. In case of Cyberpunk, even just letting us fully customize our character in any way we want shows they know how to get a message across without being overly political. So I covered this in hopes that a few of you at least won't stand for the inevitable manipulative journalism that will try to paint this game whatever it needs to generate clicks. It frustrates me to no end and it's already starting. Since I'm already in a cover the negative mood, let's move forward and talk about features coming to Cyberpunk 2077. This may be old news to some of you, but I want to clear up some rumors floating around that dozens of features have been removed since the start of development. I was sent this on Twitter by Mikatako44 and it checks out. Car customization was never in the game to begin with. Your apartment will change over time, but customization was never confirmed. Third-person cutscenes still exist, but if you've noticed, you're in full control of your character during most of the cutscenes, and that means you remain in first person. So there was never any classes in the game, and it was always a classless system. This comes from one of the gameplay showcases wherein they show the developers switching from Netrunner to Solo. This was just a bit of flavor to show switching between two different characters that were built differently. So swimming isn't removed. You could never join gangs, but you could become friendly with them. You could never join the trauma team, but you can do vigilante missions around the world. Verticality isn't removed and is better than ever. All districts are handcrafted, and you can see on the Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter that they're all vastly different. There is no source to say that the dialogue has been toned down. In fact, if you go watch my last Cyberpunk video, you'll see the wheat spike structure, and if anything, the dialogue has been increased. Driving through a city in 5 minutes at 100 kilometers an hour means that it's over 8 kilometers long. That's huge. However, even so, I doubt 5 minutes was accurate. The map thing. I don't know why everyone is so hung up on the map. It looks rich and detailed, and I promise there'll be plenty to do. RPG first, shooter second. If you go into it hoping to have a Counter-Strike experience, you're going to be disappointed. The skill tree is truly huge. You'll have too much choice, if anything. CD Projekt Red did not state they want to capture the feel of GTA. They said that you can go on a rampage like GTA, but it'll be harder and you'll die quicker. Now, the things that were actually removed are the wall running. It was a late game skill that designers found was too hard to balance with their world building. Next was the robot companion, the Flathead. It was removed for many reasons I went through already in previous videos. Long story short, it's because the playstyle was too similar to a Netrunner's remote hacking skill. To summarize, there are a lot of rumors floating around that don't have any factual grounds. Right now, there are only 2 features that have been removed, and there were significant gameplay reasons for it. Trust CD Projekt Red to be doing the right thing by their game, and if they don't, I'm sure you'll hear about it on Metacritic. So thanks for watching this short video, guys. I appreciate all the support, and I hope you're still as excited for the video game as I am. Don't forget to enter my ongoing Cyberpunk competition and hit me up in the comments. Chat soon, friends.